On, guys? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. All right, so get used to this face again. All right, I'm going live. Probably, I'm going to stop editing videos, and I'm just going to go live every week. Um, and we're just going to talk Carolina football every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe be the schedule. Maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. All depends on what's going to go on. I'm going to let people get in here. So yeah, Panthers World 5-12. I know. I'm not. I know. Y'all don't need. Y'all are like putting stuff already commenting stuff on here that I don't already know. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and run through what what this team really needs, at least in my minds, and what this giving some guidelines here, man. I got some protocol I want to go over with these guys, with you guys. We're probably gonna do some more live streams too. Just like I'm gonna do a lot of off-season stuff. We're gonna do a lot of free agency stuff. I've got some stuff about the free agency that I would like to go through. We're gonna maybe do a blueprint on what I predict the roster is gonna look like next year. So I got a lot of ideas, a lot of content coming out. Gonna start going live a little bit more. I mean, I might start recording videos and editing them again, but I think it just might be best if I just go live because it's just so much easier with the schedule that I have with my current job. Yes, I don't do YouTube full time. I wish I did, but it's it's not easy to do. So, guys, I'm gonna let y'all get in here. We'll get started. I'm gonna let some more people get in as we go. Make sure you pound that like button as you come in. I would much appreciate it. Zach Rhodes started off the show saying we need Deshaun Watson to be nice. He's got 18 out of his 22 things from right now that are gone. I guess you can consider them. Uh they are apparently they are not, or he pleaded not guilty, whatever you want to call it. He's like out of 18 of the 22 things that he's been considered that he's done or whatever. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works with all that stuff. Panthers World's 5-12. Yeah. It's not gonna cut it, man. Javon Pettigrew says, just keep going, brother. All right. So there's a couple of components I think that this team really, really needs going forward and get this team on the right track. I mean, we concluded this season with a 5-12 record, coming dead last in the NFC South division after starting 3-0. I mean, the Panthers completely crumbled. I mean, due to terrible play on the offensive line and at the quarterback position. Um, so what precisely must the Panthers do to get things back on track in 2022? Well, I'm going to give you some components and I'm going to keep it. It's not going to be short and sweet, but I'm just not going into too much depth because I would like to hit on each one individually and maybe in each live stream that I do or video, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to give you some insight on each one that I believe that this team, um, you know, that this team needs. I'm going to give you what I think. Javon Pettigrew commented, you watch college football. Yes, I watch college football. I'm a Gamecock fan, unfortunately, but I watch college football. But I am happy that the Georgia Bulldogs won. Good for them. It's been a long time, obviously, since they won, since like 1980. So well deserved, and Bama's got enough rings already as is. So, sorry guys, I am exhausted, but I'm still on here and I'm ready to go. All right, so the first, let's go ahead and get into these components. All right, I already told you, what these, I already said that these components is what I think can put the Panthers right back on track. We concluded this season 5-12. We came dead last in the South Division. We started 3-0 and then completely crumbled due to what I think is terrible play, which we all know it was terrible play. And it's mainly because of the offensive line and the quarterback play. All right. So what precisely must the Panthers do to get things back on track in 2022? Well, I'm going to tell you. And the first one is that we do not need to hire just any offensive coordinator off the street or now according to ESPN, Adam Schefter, I've been reading some stuff. The Panthers are interested in Bill O'Brien. As we all know, that's been a highlight for a little while in our news, and Jay Gruden. Now, although I don't necessarily see any of them as a good fit, I do like the idea of hiring an offensive coordinator with NFL coaching experience. With that being said, it is beneficial to have someone in the building who has previously called all the shots and understands how to be successful in this league. So officially, promoting, one thing we did was officially promoting running backs coach Jeff Nixon or snatching a position coach from another club will not solve the problem. So this squad has to create an offensive identity. And the only way to do that is if you hire someone who has done it previously. All right. So that's the first things first. Now there are some other names out there. There's a couple other names that I was reading on today, that offensive coordinators that we could be looking into. There's a couple of names out there. I'm not going to name them all off right now, but there's definitely some names. All right. I promise I'm going to answer all your question, guys. JG Lashley, do we think we have a chance to get Deshaun Watson? It's very capable. It's a possibility. It's also about money. We have to look at the cap. We're going to have to look at the cap. I think that a lot of people think that Sam Darnold's not going to come back next year. I think we're idiots if we don't bring Sam Darnold back this next year. And here's the reason why. We have to pay him $18 million, no matter if he's here or he's not. So I'd rather him be on my team than pay him $18 million to go elsewhere, if that makes sense. So we don't have the money, but we might have we do. There's a lot that goes into that, and I'm going to have to do some more research to how we can get Deshaun Watson. It's going to be a bit. The Texans are not going to trade him for a very cheap price. It's going to come with a lot of baggage. It's going to come with a lot. All right. So that was my first component. Don't hire any offensive coordinator right off the bat. All right. Next, this is a must for me. All right. This is a must for me. Hassan Reddick must be we must re-sign Hassan Reddick. We must re-sign Hassan Reddick. All right. The Panthers failed to get after the quarterback a year ago, right? Brian Burge was the only one who regularly won his matchups and had an impact on the quarterback. So the signing of Hassan Reddick in free agency this past summer solved a lot of those problems. Now it's difficult for opposing offensive lines to handle both Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick, which they are both opposite of each other, if you didn't know that. Now, Reddick has 65 tackles this year. He had 18 quarterback hits. He had 12 tackles for a loss and 11.5 sacks. All right. Reddick's re-signing to a multi-year contract would be a major boost for this young and talented defense. It needs to happen. All right. That is the next thing. Okay. Because that's also has to do with, and I'm going to keep your comment up here, JG Lashley. The reason why I'm keeping that up there is because a lot of this re-signing I think might cause a lot of problems of us getting a Deshaun Watson. But there is a possibility, and there is rumors out there that we could be getting a Russell Wilson. So I'm going to throw that bug in your ear out there, guys. I'm going to throw that bug in your ear out there. Scott Fitter, coming from Seattle, has apparently a good relationship with Russell Wilson. But I don't care what quarterback you get. You've got to build that offensive line. So, Zach Rhodes, who is your favorite offensive coordinator target? As of right now, for me, my favorite offensive coordinator target, and I'm not very good with names. I see faces. I gotta look up his name real quick, and I'm hoping I'm spelling it right. Just give me 2 seconds. I apologize. I cannot remember names. I see faces. The one person that I see and he's my favorite. Okay, he's my favorite offensive coordinator. Is Pep Hamilton. Now, he has been behind big names such as Andrew Luck. If you don't know who Pep Hamilton is, go look him up. He has been behind big names such as Andrew Luck, Justin Herbert, David Mills. Sort of. So Hamilton coached Luck in both college and the NFL and was the quarterback's coach for Herbert's breakout rookie season in 2020. He has done an admirable job in a rough situation as the quarterback's coach for the Houston Texans this season. He helped navigate that, rookie David Mills this year. So to an okay season in spite of the expectations. So, I mean, I like this. I like him. If I had to pick who's next, I'd probably go Jay Gruden, then Bill O'Brien. But really, my favorite guy in the league right now is obviously Eric Bieniemy, the Kansas City's offensive coordinator, which I'd love to get him as a head coach, but we're not going to have that this year. So Zach Rhodes, my favorite is Pep Hamilton. If we could get Eric Bieniemy for an offensive coordinator and then get rid of Rule next year and then move Eric Bieniemy to head coach, that would be wonderful. But that's probably was not going to happen at all. So, LJG Lashley, what's happening with CMC? Well, there's trade talks. All right. There is trade talks. And unfortunately, I think it needs to be done. He's injury prone. We're paying him a lot of money. And in the past 2 seasons, he's only played 10 games. That's not enough. Problem is Carolina's using him too much. When he had his breakout season of 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, he was only getting 20 touches a game. Now, he's getting 27. But if we want to the problem is we do need to trade CMC. We either need to trade him for a big-time offensive lineman or we need to get a dynasty quarterback if we trade him. And I can see that happening. And I think it makes the most sense. I understand it, and I see that, man, I can't see us getting rid of him. It's going to suck. But running backs don't win you Super Bowls. Okay? It just doesn't happen. Running backs come and go. This is not a running back league. This is a quarterback league. This is an offensive line league and a defensive line. Both sides of the ball. That's what it comes down to in the NFL. A quarterback, an offensive line, and a defensive line. Lou Rico agree with me with Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton's the shit. Sup, Pantherology. Would you be shocked if Matt Rule leads the Panthers to an 11-12 win season and division title next year? Would I be shocked? Absolutely. I would be shocked. Depending on what team he puts together, I would be shocked. But it all depends on what team he puts together. If he puts together, we get a quarterback back there like Deshaun Watson, we're able to get a left tackle and a left guard to fill those interior spots, and we're able to have some time back there in the pocket to throw the ball and have someone who has a decent arm, then yeah. Brazen X. If we can put together a package involve CMC and other stuff to the Chargers for Justin Herbert, I'd be for that. I would be too, but the Chargers are going to want too much for him. I think we could have a better deal of getting Deshaun Watson than we would with Justin Herbert. That's just my opinion. So I've already talked about two of the protocols that I'm hoping to see that Carolina does. I mean, if I was running it, that's how I would do it. Not just hiring anybody, any offensive coordinator off the street, and make sure you re-sign Hassan Reddick. Now, the next thing, it's a protocol for this team that they need to do. Invest heavily in this offensive line. Listen, the offensive line is a complete disaster, guys. Aside from Taylor Moton, I wouldn't count out Matt Rule and the front office tearing up the whole thing and bringing in 4 new bodies. All right. Rookie Brady Christensen showed some promise at left tackle in the final 3 games of this season. I will say that. So perhaps the emphasis should be the interior offensive line. Michael Jordan and John Miller both struggled with pass protection during this season. All right. Because the majority of the leakage in the front has occurred from the interior. They should make it a priority to update those 2 positions. If NC State offensive line tackle, if you and y'all can kiss my ass if I pronounce this guy's name wrong, okay? I can't pronounce this guy's name to save my life, but his name is Ikem Ekwonu out of NC State. I hope I pronounced that right, and if I did, I'm the man. And if he is still available when the Panthers choose at number 6 in the draft, he appears to be a viable choice, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Go look up Akeem. Actually, you know what? Here, I'll help y'all out. We are going to look at this guy's draft profile. How about that? He has one up yet. I wonder if they do. All right. All right. So the Draft Network does have it up. All right. So let's read about this. All right. Starting left, his ideal role. Here we go. Hold on. Y'all ready for this? Hold on. I got to figure out how to do this. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Shift 4. Here we go. Haha. Share a screen. Don't share a screen. Chrome tab. Here we go. Share this. All right. Y'all see that? All right. So this is. All right. I'm trying to be positive. It's so much we got to do before next season. Brazen. That's an interesting thought. If we can put together a package involve, listen, Brazen, yeah, it is an interesting thought, guys. All right, so let's look at this guy real quick. This is his name, and Akeem Ekwonu. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I could be wrong. All right, from the ACC, he's at NC State. All right, he's 6'4", 320 pounds. All right. Now, his ideal role is we'll get into the other stuff, all right? We'll get into this. His ideal role is a starting left tackle. His scheme fits wide zone rush attack, but he's a universal scheme fit. All right. If you don't know what that is, I can explain it to you, but I really want to go through this. All right. He earned the opportunity to start left tackle for NC State as a true freshman in 2019. He quickly developed into one of the most dynamic blockers in the country. His tenacity, size, devastating power at the point of attack, football intelligence positioned him well to become an entrenched starter in the NFL. The toughness and physicality of his team will immediately be improved with his addition. Now, Equinu took a notable step forward in 2021, but he does have room to grow when it comes to weight distribution, taken away inside passing rush moves, occasionally being too aggressive, which leads to blocks not being sustained long enough. Equinu hails from a family of athletes. His twin brother plays linebacker at Notre Dame. Did not know that. His father played college basketball in Nigeria, and his mother was a track star in high school. That is some really good genetics. Holy crap. Equinu wrestled in high school in addition to his time on the gridiron. It has the makings of a year one impact starter with Pro Bowl potential by year 3. This is a guy that we need. Okay? So let's keep going. So the films that we need to watch or games we need to watch is Miami game back in 2020, North Carolina game back in 2020. So here's some games. The best game study they're saying is the Mississippi State game. Worst game study was the Miami 2020 game. So balance. He's in the run game. Equinu creates notable movement while remaining in control of his frame, despite an aggressive demeanor. He operates in space with good balance and rarely overextends himself. In pass protection, Equinu's desire to latch quickly can lead to some top heavy reps where he folds at the waist. His overall coordination took a major step forward in 2021 compared to what the 2020 tape revealed. Now, pass sets. Equinu thrives when he's able to get on top of defenders quickly and set the clamps. With that being said, his growth in 2021 to frame rushers with more traditional pass sets is notable. The Clemson 2021 game did present challenges for Equinu shutting down the inside move, but his length, power, and tenacity often made it possible for him to recover. I mean, this guy is what we need. I mean, this is the guy what we need. We got the number 6 overall pick. So read up on this guy. Go to Draft Network. I like to use Draft Network. And you can also, cool thing about Draft Network, you can do mock drafts, which I will be doing some mock drafts. There's already one starting here. They've already got one for, looks like they did one on January 10th for Kenny Pickett. And then they got one for Matt Corral. They're saying, we're going after the quarterback at number 6. I hope not. I'm hoping we're going for this guy right here. This is the guy I want. I see him being very, very good and what we need at the left tackle position or left guard. All right. All right. So, last but not least, the protocol that I would like to go over just a short time. All right. Last protocol here. Examine the title of this next protocol is examine the quarterback trade market and make a judgment on Sam Darnold. All right. Names like Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield, Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson are likely to be mentioned in the trade negotiations this offseason. All right, guys. Now, Carolina must exercise tremendous caution, I think, in addressing this position after swinging and missing on both Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold in consecutive off seasons. So the Panthers may just keep Darnold for the 2020-22, which I think they really, really need to do because he is already owed $18 million on his 5th-year contract option, and any deal with his name in it will be extremely tough. So, with that being said, if Carolina is able to land one of the aforementioned signal callers without losing a ton of draft capital, which they don't have, we may see a situation in which Carolina trades Darnold and foots the majority of the ball, similar to the Teddy Bridgewater trade last offseason. So we are hurting in the cap overall. And that's my protocols, guys. Again, don't pick up any offensive coordinator off the street. I like Pep Hamilton or Jay Gruden. I'm not a Bill O'Brien fan. We must sign Hassan Reddick, invest heavily in this offensive line this offseason, and examine the quarterback trade market and make a judgment on Sam Darnold. I think we should keep Sam Darnold because we're going to be paying him $18 million. Doesn't necessarily mean we still can't get a starting quarterback and have Sam be the backup. I also would like to throw that name out there, Gardner Minshew. I would even take Gardner Minshew at this point, guys. I would take Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is not that bad, actually. And I know we're looking for that franchise guy. And that doesn't mean that we couldn't sit this year out too and go get a guy next year. But I mean, dude, he's not that bad. Let's look at his stats real quick. All right. Let's look at his stats. We're going to look at his career stats. And maybe he hasn't had enough playing time. But he also did play for the Jags. So let's look at Gardner Minshew's stats. Anyways, what's up, Clay? Planet Jadarius, what's going on, man? All right, so I'm glad y'all came and joined me tonight, guys. Make sure you pound that like button for me, baby. Love it. I'm glad I'm back. We're going to be doing this all the time, guys. I'm actually going to start doing this more often because I love doing live. This is so much easier. And this is not as time consuming when I sit there and record a video, edit it, and then post it up. Y'all don't understand when it comes to YouTube and editing. It's a bitch. All right. All right. So let me share my screen with you here. I'm going to share Gardner Minshew. And tell me if y'all don't like it, you don't like it. I like it. I like Gardner Minshew. All right. I fucks with some Gardner Minshew. I don't know about y'all. All right. So here is his stats, right? I mean, dude, his career stats. All right. Now his percentage is in the 60s. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that and how good you can see it. But if we look right here, he's 63.2%. All right. He's had 27 games in his career, 857 attempts, 542 completions, 63%. He averages per pass 7 yards a pass, and he has 5,969 yards. All right. Look at his touchdown to interception ratio, bro. It is 41 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. All right. He played in 2019, he played 14 games. He threw 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He played 9 games in 2020. He threw 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And then in the 4 games that he played with Philadelphia, he has 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. He's got a 68 percentage all right, from this year. 2020, he had a 66. And then 2019, he had 60. But he's gone up every year. He's not that bad. So I mean, if any of y'all in here right now, any of y'all listen to me, And Planet Jadarius, we're not drafting a quarterback in this draft. We're going all offensive line. Stop saying fucking draft a quarterback, especially in this draft. There's no Trevors or Herberts in this draft. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong. Fucking. Okay, you said fuck drafting a quarterback, especially in this draft. There's no Trevor. Yes, absolutely. Okay, never mind, Planet Jadarius. I read your thing wrong. I was about to get mad at you, but you are correct, my friend. I read your comment wrong, my brother. All right, he goes, just hope we resign defense. Yes, I already talked about that. Draft O-line. That's another protocol. Yes. I'm giving you my protocols. So I wonder, is there an application to apply for the GM position for the Carolina Panthers? I mean, I'll go ahead and just dive right in if that's okay with y'all. But Gardner Minshew, man, that's not bad. I can throw the ball. I'm just not big enough. Psych. All right. So what do y'all think? Comment in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts about Gardner Minshew. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. I'm gonna leave Gardner Minshew's. By the way, look at the flow. And look at the flow. I mean, that is some flow. All right. That guy looks like he knows how to fuck. For sure. But I mean, dude, look at his QBR. Look at his rating. That's another thing I didn't even point out here. His rating is a 93.9 overall. And then in the 2021 season, he had a 104.8 rating. And then for the Jaguars in 9 games, he had a 95.9 rating. And then for the 14 games he played for the Jaguars in 2019, he had a 91.2 rating. Now, listen, I get it. We want a real franchise quarterback. We want Deshaun Watson. We want a guy like that. It's just not probably in the cards this year. I don't see it. Unfortunately, with the money we have spent, we're still paying Teddy Bridgewater. We're still paying Sam Darnold. I mean, we are paying the highest paid running back that's only played 10 games in the past 2 fucking seasons. It's just not in the cards. All right. Our cap is just, it's not good. But I think we could get a guy for a year contract like Gardner Minshew. All right. Now, there is a lot of rumors out there of quarterback candidates that the Carolina Panthers could go after, and I've already named them, and I don't know, guys. I think, you know, I think unless we draft and develop Kenny Pickett, that's one guy. We could pounce on Jimmy Garoppolo if we want to, or somehow we lure in Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I just don't. It's only a matter of time before Deshaun Watson gets traded from Houston, though. It's all about getting him to drop his no trade clause, which if the Miami Dolphins are no longer on the table, and then Tua Tagovailoa merges, and then Watson will have to head back to the drawing board for his next ideal landing spot, and then the Panthers need to do their best to convince Watson why their organization is the best fit. And we would probably have to trade a first round pick. I could see us trading a first-round pick in 2022, a fifth-round pick in 2022, Christian McCaffrey, Sam Darnold, and A.J. Bouye for Deshaun Watson. That's what I could see happening. For Jimmy G, I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about Jimmy G, but that's another guy that's name's getting thrown around there. I mean, right now, Jimmy G's cap hits. He's got a $27 million cap hit in 2022, but he can be cut for $25.6 million in cap relief. So I think the Panthers may be intrigued with Jimmy Garoppolo. He has started for a team that reached a Super Bowl and he has a career of a 32-14 record as an NFL starting quarterback. Some speculate that Jimmy G can bring in a first round selection in any trade, but that seems very generous, I think. But the trade for Jimmy G would look something probably like Sam Darnold, YGM. I'm going to guess like a 2022 fourth round pick and a 2023 second round pick. And then you get Kenny Pickett and you develop him, but then you got to build that offensive line. I mean, while no clear-cut prospect has emerged above the rest, but I think Kenny Pickett is the one to keep an eye on. I mean, Pickett did spend an extra year developing at Pitt. He served the quarterback position well there. I think I mean, he was very highly productive in his final season. He had some flashes of very nice accuracy. I would say smart decision making was another thing. I think he has sneaky athletic ability. And maybe the Panthers shouldn't hesitate to select Pickett if he's available with the first round selection. And then you have Sam Darnold. And that's probably not the first name that Panther fans want to hear. You know what I mean? Nor maybe Gardner Minshew. The starting lineup, here in the starting lineup in the 2022 year begins. It's not unrealistic for him to remain on the roster. Should the organization decide to draft another young quarterback in that first selection, I mean, starting the more experienced Darnold may be the preferred route, right? Until they feel the rookie is ready. I mean, it's crazy to think that Sam Darnold was a third overall pick back in 2018 at the NFL draft. And has just 1 year remaining on his contract after the Panthers picked up his 2022 year option, which he's getting paid $18.8 million. A trade away from Sam Darnold remains an option, but since he's set to earn such a large amount, teams will be very hesitant to offer much, right? If anything at all. So unfortunately, this means the team may have Darnold on the roster for another year. That's what I keep telling you. Even if it's even if it's in the form of a highly paid backup quarterback. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. What do y'all think about my takes, guys? Let me know. All right, so let's get in the chat here. Looks like we got a lot going on, and I haven't answered. Sorry. Pantherology, what part of South Carolina are you in? I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Dirty Myrtle. Flemings 102 said I'd be pleased with Jimmy. Okay. I wouldn't be mad about it, but I'm definitely a little hesitant on it. All right. And then I can't do another year with Donald as a starter. Now, that's why I think that Minshew would be a very, very good option. We just pay money. We pay for a 1-year contract with Gardner Minshew. We let Gardner Minshew be our starter running back this year. Hell, maybe, and then we go all offensive line in this draft. We hold out till next year, find our quarterback in the next draft because I think we're going to find our guy in the next draft. Or somehow, some way, Scott Fitter and Matt Rule pull something out of their ass. And we're able to be able to draft offensive line, get Deshaun Watson, and we're still able to keep Christian McCaffrey, and everything's lollipops, cakes, and cupcakes and rainbows. There's so much going on in this, but I gave you my 4 protocols. All right, guys. We don't need to get an offensive line out of nowhere. We needed to. If we're going to get anybody, we get Pep Hamilton. If Matt Rule does shitty next year, we need to get Eric Bimini as our head coach. Number 2, though, we must sign Hassan Reddick. Number 3, build our offensive line. And number 4, find our guy just for next year and get our franchise guy in the next. So I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. I'm gonna keep going live, guys. I'm gonna keep going live. I know that those guys over there at the I think it's the CP3 podcast. I think so. Is it CP3? I think they do like a free for all on Fridays. Yeah, I think they do a free for all on Fridays. So if they're doing a free for all, maybe I'll hop on there with them guys, or I might just do my own thing tomorrow, and then maybe do something Saturday morning because there ain't no well, there's football on tomorrow, but not till what time are the games going on tomorrow? Or not tomorrow, but Saturday. Apologize. Let's see what's going on Saturday. Let's see the NFL. That's messed up. David Culley fired was a bad. That they shouldn't have fired him. All right, so there's 2 Saturday games, and then there's 3 Monday. There's 3 Sunday games, and then there's 1 Monday game. Okay, so all right, cool beans. All right, so we can do a little Q&A here to finish it up the night. I'll just stay on for about another 15 minutes. So if you want to do a little Q&A, hold on, I'll put this up here. I'm going to add something to the display for y'all. Let's do a little Q&A. Excuse me. All right, here we go. So a little Q&A, guys. We'll start it up. I'm going to go ahead and put that Q&A. Hit me with it. Okay, reason I asked is because I may move to Conway, South Carolina. I was wondering if you knew how Conway was. Is it a nice area? Is there a lot of bad weather? There are floods? All right, so Conway, you're kind of in between city and sticks, right? If that makes sense. So Conway, you're going to be out in the boonies a little bit. So you're going to be in more of the country folk. I like to call them the country folk. I don't consider myself country. I consider myself Southern, if that makes sense. I'm more of a Southern beach boy. All right. So Conway has its ups and downs, right? It's quiet. It's peaceful. Not a lot going on, but it's not that far away from Myrtle. You're only like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away. So Conway's cool. The downtown area, Conway, needs to be updated though. They need to update a lot of stuff in Conway. That's the problem. Rule fired in the AM. Hey, off 75, Panthers 93. If that's true, then we need to, if that happens, Eric Bimini better be our next head fucking coach. That's all I got to say. Eric Bimini 2022, man. Vote for him. Eric Bimini 2022. So a lot of murders in Conway. There's a lot of murders everywhere. I would not say in Conway. It probably I'll be honest with you, it happens more in Myrtle. Downtown Myrtle happens way more. I can tell you that. I know. Q&A, guys, so hit me with it. Questions, answers. We'll finish up the night with that. I hope you enjoyed my protocols that I gave you tonight. Maybe I'll go in depth of each protocol. So maybe I'll go into the offensive coordinator position tomorrow night. How about that? If y'all come join me tomorrow night or tomorrow, would y'all come and join me tomorrow? And we'll talk about the 4 or 5 guys that we could see become our next offensive coordinators. And disregard my clothes in the background. I'm doing laundry, so. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me. Make sure y'all pound that like button as you're coming in. Norv Turner. That wouldn't be a bad. Norv wouldn't be a bad. Norv wouldn't be a bad. Norv Turner. Norv Turner's old, brother. So probably not. Now that I'm thinking about it, Norv Turner's 69 years old. I don't think so. But that's funny, Norv Turner. He was with us for a little while. No, he's with us, what, 2018, 2019? That's funny. Claws like the bottom. Sup, Ghost Daddy, what's up? Coach Killer, what's up, my guy? Appreciate y'all coming in and joining me. So, give me a chance to get Lynn and Ike, and I'm happy. I hear you. Guys, so if y'all are just coming in, I did give at the beginning of this live stream, I was telling everybody my four basically it's really like 4 or 5 things that I want the Panthers to just at least do. Okay, right? There's only like a minimum, and that's all I ask, right? And that is not to just hire any offensive coordinator just because Bill O'Brien went to a national championship, except you got to remember, Panthers, who is their head coach? Nick Saban, all right? Number 2, Jay Gruden he's the quarterback's coach, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's the quarterback's coach at the Jags, if I'm not mistaken. Or is he the offensive coordinator at the Jags right now? I can't remember. But don't hire anybody off. If anything, if you want to hire an offensive coordinator, give me Pep Hamilton. All right? Give me Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton is the guy. All right? Especially at the offensive coordinator position. Now, I would say Eric Bimini, but Eric Bimini he's not leaving Kansas City unless it's a head coaching job. And I would love to have him as a head coach, but that's not going to happen. That's a story for another day. All right. The next thing that we must do, and this is just for the people that missed out on the beginning, I'm just giving you a short term of what I was speaking earlier. Carolina must re-sign Hassan Reddick. That is a completely 100% must. All right. When you have a 2-headed monster with Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick on the defense, it elevates your team. It elevates those young guys on the defense. Number 2, what was on my notes here? Oh, yeah. Invest heavily on the offensive line. So that means free agency, draft, whatever the case may be. But this, I'm pretty sure, I'm guarantee you, I'll bet on this. The front office is going to tear that whole offensive line up and bring in 4 new bodies. I'm telling you. The only 2 people that's going to be on that offensive line is going to probably Matt Paradis, Taylor Moton, and Brady Christensen from this past year. And those are the only 3 guys I would bring back because Brady Christensen showed promise. Taylor Moton, obviously, we signed him. Matt Paradis is actually a very good center, but unfortunately, he went down. You know, we're going to let that slide, right? Injuries. It happens. Then the last but not least protocol I just asked them to do, and it's only 4. I did have 5, but I just kind of kept it simple tonight. Examine the quarterback trade market. Who's out there? Who can we get? Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield, Tua Tagovailoa, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. All right. But then make a good judgment on Sam Darnold. I say we keep Sam Darnold because I know you probably are saying, I'm repeating myself to some of y'all, but keep Sam Darnold. We're paying him $18.8 million a year if he's here or if he's not. All right. And then another guy, like I was talking to them earlier, is Gardner Minshew. And then I was also talking about a guy out of NC State that would be a good draft pick at number 6, since we do have the number 6 overall pick, is Akeem Iquanu. He is a left tackle for NC State. So for some of you who are just tuning in, those were my protocols and some of the guys that names I was mentioning out there. So. All right, so if we do offensive line first round, which I'm assuming we do, who do you think will? I've already given you him, and I'll show you him again. Super Trebo, I will show you him again. Give me 2 seconds, okay? I had his profile pulled up. This is the guy that I think that we need to draft at number 6. All right, I even went through his whole player profile, all that stuff. Give me 2 seconds here. I gotta pull up his draft profile though. All right, here we go. So here is the guy. Let me share my screen. One more time here. Here we go. All right, can y'all see that? Give me a thumbs up in this group chat if you can see that. Y'all can all see that? All right, Akeem Iquanu. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm very bad with names. But this is him out of NC State. Offensive tackle, 6'4", 320. Here's his analyst right here. Ideal role, starting left tackle. Scheme fit. Wide zone rushing attack. He's a universal scheme fit. That goes a long way. Universal goes a long way. Prospect comparison is Kalish Asameli. If y'all don't know who he is, this dude was a stud, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's a stud, dude. Or he was a stud, but he was nasty. He's just older now, that's why. But I still have faith in Christensen. In if anything, we could get this guy. Let me look up something here real quick for you. Now, a lot of people are saying that the Carolina wants to keep their hometown hero, or wants to go after their hometown hero, Mr. Sam Howell. I wouldn't want to go after him. Now, there are some 5 premier offensive linemen that the Carolina Panthers could go after, and there's a couple names that's been thrown around. We could go after Tyler Linderbaum, which someone's already commented that. All right. We could go after Laken Tomlinson. Okay. Evan O'Neal is a good offensive tackle out of Alabama. He's a draft prospect. James Daniels, he would be good from the Chicago Bears. And then another guy named Andrew Norwell. He's a free agent out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So there's a couple guys that could be good. A lot of people are saying we go after Malik Willis out of Liberty. I'm not a fan of that. I think that, but there's a top 5. There is top 5 guys that we could go after that could be completely problem solvers for this team, and that's Kenyon Green, the offensive guard out of Texas A&M. Another one, like I was talking about earlier, was Evan O'Neal out of Alabama. That's another guy that could help us out. I said Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of Iowa, is another guy we could go after. Nakobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia, is another one. And then, of course, my guy that I was just showing to you right here, Mr. Akeem Ekwonu. So I hope we go all offensive line in this draft, guys. So here, I'll give you some. Let's look up another guy on this real quick. Studs and duds. I love that. Let's go in the SEC because that's where we're going to see our guys. Actually, let's look up. I think that's how you pronounce his name. No. No. Okay. All right. Never mind. Oh, here we go. So here's your top 10 if you're looking at this right now. These are your top 10 offensive linemen. You got Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. He's 6'4", 325 pounds. Tyler Linderbaum, 6'3", 290. I mean, Eddie Ingram's a good one. I don't know much about Zion Johnson. I do know a little bit about this guy. He's okay. My top 5 is Kenyon Green, Tyler Linderbaum. I like Eddie Ingram, but the other guys aren't even on here. So let's go to. So that's their big board. Let's look at the defensive. Let's look at all the big board posts. All right, offensive tackle. Here we go. So look at this. Number 1 offensive tackle is right here. The guy I was just talking about. All right. So now I'm looking in the chat. All right. So Evan O'Neal was the guy I mentioned. I wonder what their big board is on the quarterback's position. So let's see what their big board is on the quarterback. All right, here we go. Kenny Pickett's got to be number one, man. This dude, I don't know about y'all, man, but this dude's a freaking stud. I like this guy. Ideal role, starting quarterback, scheme fit. He's a spread guy. Let's see who they compare him to. They compare him to Joe Burrow. His comparison is to Joe Burrow. Very interesting. When you can compare to Joe Burrow, that's pretty good. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to get out of that. All right, so let's go to the next guy here. So Desmond Ridder, they got him at number 2. Developmental starting quarterback, scheme fit, run first offense that features blended concepts in the passing game and involves the quarterback in the run game. Prospect comparison, Ryan Tannehill. All right. Malik Willis. All right. Developmental starting quarterback, ideal role, scheme tendencies, RPO, and a running back heavy offense with featured pass in shallow areas, vertical down the field. Let's see his comparison. They compare him to Jordan Love with rocket shoes. Interesting. Don't want a Jordan Love right now. I don't need a Jordan Love. Definitely doesn't sound like a Michael Vick to me. So far, Kenny Pickett's still the number one, in my opinion. Matt Corral. See what this guy's got. Ideal role. Eventual starting quarterback. Scheme fit. High volume of RPO concepts. What is his? Did they not even have like a comparison to him? Scout grades to be determined. Okay. Carson Strong. I don't know much about this guy. Let's see. Ideal role is starting quarterback. Scheme fit, traditional drop back, vertical passing offense. Okay. Let's look at Sam Howell. Developmental starting quarterback. Spread. See if they got any comparisons. Comparing him to Sam Ellinger. Yeah, Sam Ellinger. Yeah, great comparison. All right, Will Levis. Okay, they don't even have shit on that guy. They don't got Shannon Tanner McKee. Jack Cohn. Go with not much on him.
Honda is the most awarded brand of the decade.
Not much on him. All right. And last but not least, Bailey Zappi. Ideal role backup quarterback. Not what we're looking for. David Fails. David Fails. All right. Out of all these guys, I'm going to want Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral, or Carson Strong, because they're saying he could be automatically a starting quarterback. And I would have to know more about this guy and look into him more. Kenny Pickett gets saying that they think that he looks like more like Joe Burrow. Desmond Ridder has that Ryan Tannehill feel. I'll be okay with that. Matt Corral, they don't really have a comparison for him yet, but he has, from what I know of, he has very good mechanics from what I've seen. And then Carson Strong. So, I mean, Malik Willis might be okay, but I don't think he's got that strong of an arm. So guys, I appreciate y'all coming in and joining. Been on here for about an hour. That's all I'm about to do per week, every day. Not every day, but at least 3 to 4 times a week. I'm going to be coming on here until next season, basically. We're going to be doing a lot of off-season stuff, man. There's so much going on, so many scenarios, so many great things that could happen, so many things that I know Corral's injured. I know that. But there's so many ideas that could happen, man. There's no telling what could happen. So guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. Make sure you pound that like button as y'all came in, or make sure you do it as you leave. And as always, before I leave you guys, thanks for coming and joining me. But as always, keep pounding.